Please welcome State Senator Chris Larson.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining the Sunday morning portion of the convention. I miss seeing each of you in person at the in-person convention. I've been going since I was a college dem. It's a great chance to see old friends, meet new ones, hang out till way past the final speeches, and then, of course, peel off the stickers and collect all the buttons that you've gotten along the way. So looking forward to seeing everybody in person next year. This time I'm coming at it as a statewide candidate. For those, if you haven't figured it out, the theme of all the folks talking this morning, I'm running for U.S. Senate to replace Ron Johnson. It's a question of making sure that we restore dignity to our state, making sure that we don't just have one of the wealthiest people representing himself, getting himself to be rich. It's also a question of making sure that we unrig the system so that it works for everybody, not just the wealthy few. And frankly, it's about stopping the festering fascism that has started to overtake America. So a pretty daunting task, and I hope you're up for it. I know I am. It's about making sure that we learn the lessons from this last pandemic. And what does that mean? At the beginning, everyone was told that we're all in this together, right? They said, look, if we all take care of each other, if we're all looking after each other, we'll all get through this together. The same way we were told that through the Great Recession and after 9/11. And unfortunately, just like those last two tragedies, at the end of it, it seems that people who were worse off are worse off, and the people who are better off are better off. And so that divide continues to grow. And over this last year, I think it's been clear, especially for anyone else who's got kiddos out there, that we absolutely need affordable childcare. And that is a problem that we can solve. We absolutely need paid time off for people to expand paid family medical leave and have access to sick days regardless of how long you've been working someplace. That's something we can do from the federal government. That's something that America should do for itself. And frankly, making sure that we have access to healthcare regardless of who you're employed with. That is something that should not matter when it comes time to try and get a checkup or try and get healthy. Over the last few weeks since I announced my run for U.S. Senate, I've had hundreds of conversations, and each of them sticks with me. Let me just tell you one of them. One of them, I talked to a friend of mine who I've known since my time back when I was a county board supervisor over 10 years ago. And he told me, look, I can't talk politics right now. He is in the process of saying goodbye to his wife, who has been struggling against cancer for 6 years. And as heartbreaking as that is, he's thankful. He was actually thankful because he was lucky enough to have strong employer health care that made sure that her sickness was covered, to make sure that their treatment was covered, and to make sure that she could get life-saving medication, life-extending medication that would normally cost $1,100 a bottle for a month's supply. And while he was grateful that he had these extra 6 years, I was frustrated, he was frustrated, knowing that that's not the case for everybody else out there. It becomes a crapshoot whether you're actually going to get the coverage that you deserve, whether your loved one is going to get the healthcare that they deserve. Granted, Obamacare granted huge leaps and bounds and changes, but we have access to life-saving care, but it's out of reach for too many. That is why we need Medicare for all. You are worth that. Our neighbors are worth that. And that's why that's one of the principal issues we're running on. And that's why we're running on expanding a Green New Deal so that we can move to the next generation and make sure no one is left behind. That's why I'm pushing for a wealth tax. We've got to do whatever it takes. You guys know me. I've been a leader in state politics for the last decade. Sometimes I'm pushing against the Republicans for sure, whether that be walking out in Act 10 with the Wisconsin 14 to make sure that you had a voice at our state capitol, extending on to pushing back against historic cuts to public education and on. And sometimes it's pushing against Democrats, whether it's running against an incumbent who doesn't believe in climate change or running against the super rich. You know I'm a fighter. You know I'll be fighting there for you and fighting for our values and doing whatever it takes to get that done for Wisconsin in the U.S. Senate. These are things that we're pushing for. You can find out more and check out our launch video about unrigging the system at voteforlarson.org. And I'm asking you to not just vote for me, but to join our movement. This is not going to be easy. None of this is. But we can do it if we work together. That's the way we've always done it. That's the way we've always been successful. And 2022 is going to be just as important as every other year. So I'm asking you for your vote. I'm asking you to join our movement. And I'm asking you to get moving and ending the creeping, festering fascism that's overtaking America. Thank you. Enjoy the convention.